Call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call it.
Trustee Brewer.
Here.
Trustee Grant. Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Tate. Trustee Todd.
Here.
Trustee Zupan.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to recess into executive session
So moved.
Second. For discussion of personnel matters, updating pending litigation, and collective bargaining matters. Been moved by Trustee Zupan, second by Trustee Todd. I'm sorry, Jones. I'm looking that way. Usually I don't say her name, so she, but all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're going to go in for a executive session. We'll be out. Yeah, we're going to reconvene. I'll entertain a motion to reconvene.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Jones, second by Trustee Brewer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brewer.
Here.
Trustee Grant. Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Tate. Trustee Todd.
Here.
Trustee Zupan.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Public comment. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may make comment on any matter pertaining to the village. The business of the Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. I think the microphone is on. Could you come up to the mic? State your name for the record.
My name is Jackie Glaze. I would like to know why the senior center was left such a mess from Saturday night. The tables and chairs were all over the floor. Food was all over the main floor and the kitchen. And one of the small garbage cans was totally broken. I would like to know if the internet has been turned on. I was informed that the village was 3 months behind and it was shut off. If it was turned on, how much was it and where did you get the money? I would like to know those 5 flags there. I know $550 some was collected for the flags. The flags cost $1,300. Where did the rest of the money come from? A couple of weeks ago on the agenda, it was put on there that person number 1 and person number 2 were paid. That was an incorrect way of putting it on the agenda. You needed to state the case number, the person's name, and the amount. I would like to know who these people are and what they got paid for. And that's about it.
Okay, first of all, the senior center left a mess. I was there Monday. It seemed like it was cleaned up, but I was not here to find out. I will find out for you. I don't know. I didn't stay till the end, so.
Bluegrass group.
We're not going to debate. Okay. So if they had to or whatever, this is the first I've heard of it today, Tuesday. So I will find that out tomorrow. Internet, I don't know where you got that from, that the internet was cut off. There was and I'm trying to figure out what do you mean by, because the internet works in here. You just have to get a password from someone to find out what it is, but at no time was the internet cable or whatever process that we have was ever turned off. So that's bogus information. The 5 flags, they did a fundraiser, which I'm sure you've been here to see, that they raised money, and the rest of that money was also raised by a few of the vendors. They found out that it was X amount of money that was deficient, and they stepped up to the plate and they gave us the rest of the money. And the last item, I'm not sure how to to put it in such a way. We didn't publicize a lot of things because of the agreement that was made with the people that actually were part of the lawsuit. So it was agreed that that wouldn't be publicized. However, there was a FOIA, so we will have to answer that. So if you would like to FOIA that, we don't make that type of thing public for everybody. But if you'd like to FOIA that to find out, then you can do that. That's no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel Lubian. Hi.
I didn't hear you.
I said Rachel Lubian.
Thank you.
Hi. I would like to say that it was a very awesome event that you all put on Saturday, and the clerk put on. It was very lovely the way she did it. So I want to say it was awesome. And after talking with some of the veterans and some of their families and things like that, I wanted to potentially come up with a plan about mental illness and suicide prevention and things like that, and also with everything that's been going on. So I wanted to come with a presentation and see if we can possibly do something. I know I've talked to Trustee Jones a little bit, but I would like to do a little something. So I was thinking next week I could maybe come up with something, present it to you, and see if we can do something, because I think it would be very nice. And that is all.
Okay, that's very nice of you, and thank you very much for your compliment. Unfortunately, next week we're not meeting. We will be meeting the following week, which will be the 28th. So if you would like to touch bases with Trustee Jones and get that together to present, you want to present it at the committee meeting, or you want to present it at a different venue? How do you want to present this?
Maybe I just come talk to you. I don't know, whoever would be interested in helping, because I wanted to make it more of a community thing. So I don't know the grounds of how to do it. I don't know if I just go talk to you privately, or if I talk to a trustee that would be interested, or how.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean, if you talk to a trustee already and they're interested in sponsoring that for you, that shouldn't be a problem. I'm just wanting to know that next week there won't be a meeting, so
Okay.
it won't be a committee meeting, but there will be a board meeting the following week. So it'll
Okay.
be just like this type of board. We don't do presentations basically at a board meeting. We try to take care of the business.
okay.
But presentations are done, but I'm pretty sure you're going to want more than just a week to get all the
Yes.
veterans together to present something to them.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Heidi Parker, Sauk Village. I'm referring to the committee meeting minutes of September 5th. Under the discussion items, item 3, it states that Director Visovati provided a summary of proposed community and utility solar projects, after which he introduced Mr. Mark Pruitt and Mr. Reggie Greenwood. Mr. Greenwood was not present at this meeting, and since minutes are supposed to be a historical record of what's actually happening, there was another individual that was here. Also, I feel
Go ahead.
that the sentence is not properly worded, since after Mr. Greenwood's mentioning that he's of the Chicago Southland Economic Development Corporation, it states also Solar Development LLC, and I don't believe he's part of that. I believe Mr. Pruitt is part of that. So that sentence should be reworded. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, you said this is September what now?
September 5th, and it's being voted on tonight.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the meeting. Okay. Yes, sir.
So Eric Farmer, Sauk Village. Just wanted to know what's the village's stance on dead trees out in the parkway. We have, well, there was one in front of my house, and it actually just fell over in the street and died. But the one next to me, that one was dead too, and that's at 21654 Peterson Avenue. And I didn't know, if it was and I know sooner or later that one's probably just gonna break off and fall also. Hopefully it don't fall on the house. And it'll fall toward the street too, or the village, do they take them down? I'm not sure. Could you answer that? Thanks.
That it? Okay, as far as the trees, currently we are taking trees down, especially ones that look like they're going to fall. There's a schedule for that. Right now we're doing the leaves, getting those taken care of. Yes, trees are ongoing. And the one that you said, it did fall already?
Well, the one in front of my house, 21660 Peterson.
21660.
Yeah, it failed. And it fell
It's in the street now?
No, they already cleaned it up. Just maybe about a month ago.
Okay, so the one 21654 Peterson?
Right, which is right there.
That's look like it's falling.
Yeah, it's dead. It's probably.
it is a lot of them dead. We got a bunch of trees that are dead. But when I'm asking you, is this tree does it look like it's about to fall?
No, it's not leaning or anything.
Oh,
but
we have a lot of dead trees.
Okay, because the one in front of my house wasn't leaning either. But it's dead. It boom, it fell. I think the
So,
wind.
yeah, we're trying to get around to those trees, especially in the parkways. Right now, we can just take down what we can, but that's ongoing. So that's not something that we stop. When we have time, we will take those down. I thought you were saying that on Peterson that there was one that was a hazard, a danger, but we're going all over it. We've got little help from the state down Sauk Trail. They did take some of those down, which helped us out because especially the tall ones, they're kind of tricky. So they are going to the neighborhoods. They're doing what they can as they get to them. So I'll ask them to see it. I'm sure it's on the list, but that's why I thought maybe you were saying that it looks like it's about to fall, and then I don't want something like that to happen on somebody. So.
Yeah,
But it is ongoing. It never stops. We do it in between snow removal because it's not weather related.
Right.
Cutting grass is.
Yeah, because it's been there. They've been dead for like about 5 years. So I didn't know. I said maybe some places the residents have to take those trees down.
Residents take trees down that are on their property, which is on the other side of the sidewalk. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Judy Cast here. I would like to let everybody know my name is Judy Cast. I speak only for Judy Cast. Nobody, my family, friends, nobody speaks for me. I am commenting due to last week's questions or statements that I made and the fallout due to it. I said what I said, I stand by what I said, and I'm not going to debate it in the manner it was turned over to me. Mr. Mayor, during the election, I told you that when you become mayor, I still won't stop asking questions. And you said I wouldn't expect anything different from you. I took you by your word. I took you by the fact that I could ask questions and it wouldn't be a major issue. My dad taught me that the only stupid question is the question you don't ask. I talked to you after the meeting. You answered questions for me. You made me see things I didn't see, but it didn't matter. I have never, ever been disloyal to you, or have I ever been disrespectful to you and/or your family. That was never my intent. What I said, and I still stand by it, because when I get up here and I say something, I can back it up. Therefore, anything out of last week's talk, or whatever you want to call it, I will not debate in the manner in which this thing is transpiring. Therefore, I said what I had to say. I don't require any answers from you. I wanted to make it very plain. When I get up here, I say it like it is. People don't like it. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. On to the next, approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of August 8th, 2017.
So moved. Second.
It was moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Brewer. Any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant, Jones,
No.
Tate, Todd,
Yes.
Zupan,
No.
motion failed.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
motion failed. Motion to approve the committee minute meetings for September 5th, 2017. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Brewer, second by trustee Todd. Any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Grant, Jones,
No.
Tate, Todd,
Yes.
Zupan,
No. Me.
Brewer.
I'm always at the top, Brewer. No.
And motion fails. All right, reports of officers. Mayor's report. Ladies and gentlemen, during my report, I did not put down the fact that I was going to, but I did present the person that I had selected for treasurer to the board. And today I'm asking the board to codify that selection. And because I do need a person ASAP. So I'm asking the board to vote in, or I'm asking the board to vote on, not in. You get that straight again. Asking the board to vote on the selection that I have for treasurer. I'll entertain a motion for Ms. Judith Sufflin. I'll ask the board for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Todd. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Wait a minute. Oh, excuse me. Question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Question. Mr. Mayor, I think we need to put this off, or put it on to the next agenda item, board meeting, because there was a conflict of concern about if this should have been added on to the agenda, just to be on the safe side and to rally on the caution side. I think this needs to be put off until next board meeting.
Okay, as I stated before, this is something that I need to do rather now than later. And I have so many different things that are in place. I need eyes and ears in certain areas. We've been without a treasurer, as you guys stated earlier, since you've been in office and before. I think now it's time for us to move forward with that, it's not something that I'm asking you guys to do that I would consider there would be something wrong. It's not nothing. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm putting it out there open and honest and transparent. So, but I need to get this underway ASAP. And we won't have another meeting for another 2 weeks. Unless you want to have a...
This act,
It
and
is
I'm
over.
not quite sure of the standing and the ruling on this. I think we should put it off for a few weeks to make sure that we're right. Because we had the same issue when we appointed department heads to go back and reappoint those. So to be err on the side of caution, I think we need to.
Department heads were already on the agenda when I appointed them when we took office, but I mean, it's your vote. It's up to you to vote on it, yes or no, yay or nay. But I do need this to be done. As I stated, it's not something I'm asking you to do behind a door, or this is up front. This is open and transparent. I'm just asking to confirm my decision for a treasurer.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I don't think that's what Trustee Brewer is trying to say. We know that we need a treasurer, but it needs to be on the agenda.
Then we can have a special meeting if you want to. We can have a special meeting tomorrow.
What we're trying to say is, and we know about the open and transparent, but it needed to be on the agenda.
Okay.
That's all we're saying.
That was my mistake. That was my oversight. So we can have a special meeting for this. If that's the pleasure of the board. If that's the pleasure of the board, we will have a special meeting, but I still need this to be done sooner rather than later. So the day is Tuesday. We can have a special meeting on Thursday. If that's the pleasure of the board for codification of treasurer.
Mayor,
Yes?
isn't it within your purview to appoint someone for 30 days regardless
I
of the
thought
board's
so.
action? So regardless, if we vote on Judith tonight or not, you still have the ability to
To
appoint
appoint.
her
Yes.
regardless.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I'm just trying to not do that. But yes, I do. I can appoint a person for 30 days without codification. Yes, I can. So if the board doesn't want to appoint, then we'll go from there, vote. So right now, there's a motion on the floor. Any other questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Jones,
No.
Tate, Todd,
No.
Zupan,
Yes.
Brewer,
No.
Grant,
Okay, well, what I will do at this point, and at this time, I will appoint Ms. Judith Suffolk as treasurer for 30 days until such time we'll come back, and but she will act as treasurer for 30 days, starting tomorrow. Reports, Village Clerk Marva Campbell Pruitt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple of things. First thing, I would like to ask the trustees for their bios so that we can continue working on the website. I would like to thank each and every volunteer who worked at the Veterans Day program, and specifically in the kitchen area. I truly appreciate all those who assisted as they did, and I swear you guys did a fantastic and marvelous job. And I am going to apologize for your having to hear a negative report that we left that area unclean, because I know one of you actually carried the garbage out yourselves. I saw you do that, you know, so, but thank you so much. It was well received and I appreciate it. I want to talk to you about the holiday cheer for a minute. I am very pleased to report that we sent out a call to all of our churches in the village and asked if they would consider joining us and being a partner with us by having a food drive at their church, and then, you know, sharing it with us so that we can provide it to to the people who live here in Sauk Village. We have 3 churches who have already notified us that they are more than willing to conduct food drives at their church. We have Grace United Church of Christ, we have Crossroads Church, and just today we got one from Sauk Village Baptist Church. So that's really wonderful to know. In terms of the director's reports, I am going to continue to make an appeal to those directors who repeatedly do not provide a written report. I'm going to very, very nicely make an appeal to you again to please have your report in on or before Thursday at noon. I keep asking, and the same people repeatedly does not do so, and I'm still not understanding that piece, but that's okay. And Mr. Mayor, that completes my report.
Thank you. Village Engineer, Mr. Zarnik.
Thank you, Mayor. We are finalizing the contract documents for the 2018 50/50 sidewalk program. For the program, the village will reimburse property owners up to 50% of the cost of the replacement of deteriorated sidewalks. Funding will be limited and assistance is provided on a first-come, first-served basis. More details on how residents can apply for the program will be provided by the village soon. That concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Reports of departments, committees, and commissions. Finance and Administration, Director Mohan Rao.
Thank you very much, Mayor and the board. Thank you very much, Mayor and the board. I have no report.
Thank you. Fire Department, Chief Al Stoffrey.
I have a question.
For more.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mohan, I think it was last month, don't quote me, we put a request in for us, the trustees, to sign for tomorrow, $120,000 from the water fund. And you indicated that once the property taxes get back in the $213,000, that the water fund will be paid back. So was that ever done?
We didn't get the property tax that was anticipated.
So we never got the $213,000, or were we paying them back?
Yes.
We never got the property taxes, but we're paying the $25,000 back.
We
per
will
year.
try to pay as soon as we can once we get the property tax.
Oh, so it's still coming, okay.
Is that it?
That's my question.
All right, again, Fire Department, Chief Al Stoffrey.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Over the past 3 weeks, Fire Department responded to 29 calls. 6 fire alarms, 1 odor investigation, 5 CO alarms, 1 mutual aid, 6 vehicle accidents, 4 gas leaks, 1 still alarm, 4 ambulance PD assists, 1 smell of smoke. Fire Department staff attended the Veterans Day Memorial held here at the Village Hall, and in conjunction with ABF when they had their Veterans Memorial down there at the trucking company. In my report, I mentioned that we had a chance to sell our fire truck. And the Dawson Fire Department came in Saturday afternoon, and they left for Texas that afternoon. They called and they made it back to Texas with no problems, and very happy with it. Final outcome should be around $20,000 after the bills are paid. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you also for selling that apparatus, that fire truck. I came by and met the gentlemen that were there to drive it back down to Texas. And I guess they tested the pump and everything, so glad that we finally were able to sell that. And after all bills related to the sale of that particular truck. You said we should net about 20,000 in it. Okay, thank you. Police Department Chief Robert Kowalski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, trustees. For the reporting period, the police responded to 782 calls with 11 arrests. Few cases of interest. On October 28th, officers received a call of an individual missing from their caregiver at Candlelight Park. The missing individual was a male black, approximately 32 years of age, and developmentally delayed. Missing person was originally from Flossmoor, but supposedly at the caregiver's residence and walked away. Officers, with the assistance of the fire department and ESDA, searched the area and proved negative results. Officers responding took all the investigative means to notify law enforcement agencies of the incident. The news media had taken an interest in this case and reported it accordingly. The missing person was found in Harvey and was unharmed. Investigators are looking into this matter, which is now ongoing, and we should be securing some charges against the caregiver shortly. On October 31st, police were called to the 22400 block of Strasburg, where a victim reported 3 male black subjects dressed in Halloween masks and blue hoodies held him hostage in a home invasion type situation. Subject said they forced their way into the house and stole a large amount of cash and miscellaneous property to include several weapons. The offenders fled the scene in an unknown direction and in an unknown vehicle. Our detectives did a great job investigating this matter and found several issues with the alleged occurrence. They were able to show that this didn't quite happen as reported. The victim was called to the police station and was arrested and charged with filing a police report. And this is now in the court system. On Halloween, the police department was invited to participate in this year's trunk and treat. I'd like to thank Trustee Jones and the Parks and Recreation Department for the invitation. As always, it's a great event, and we were thankful to have been able to attend. I would like to note that on that Tuesday, October 31st, for trick or treat, time was set for the hours of 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. These hours fell between the police department's 3 to 11 shift. Officers working that shift answered 19 calls for service. The calls ranged responding to abandoned vehicle to welfare check, and never rose to a level of concern that would cause the watch commander an issue to have thought about canceling trick or treat. So it would be my recommendation that we continue next year as we have this year. Our prescription drug drop-off, as reported, the quarterly DEA prescription drug drop-off was held on October 28th, and we collected approximately 20 pounds of unused prescription drugs. This was our 4th time participating in a drug drop-off event, and we'll continue to participate in future drug drop-offs, since DEA has reported these collections help prevent pill abuse and theft by ridding homes of potentially dangerous and expired, unused, and unwanted prescription drugs. District 168, School District 168 Community Fest held their 7th annual fest, which took place on November 2nd. The police department was represented by Officer Josh Morris at the event, and will continue to participate in these type of events. We also participated in the Veterans Day event, and as everybody else mentioned, it was a great time and an honor, and very humbling to be in the presence of the veterans from the town. Lastly, I'd like to note that I'd like to thank everybody who participated in voting for our K-9 in the Aftermath grant program. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but all those who voted, I appreciate your help. And we'll give it a go next time it comes up. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and trustees. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Chief. Emergency Management Agency Director Alan Babbitt.
Thank you, Mayor Board. At this time, I have no report, but I do want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, being that we're not going to be here next week. Thank you.
Okay, Community Development Director Sherry Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. November 1st, court call for code enforcement. We had 422 tickets on the court call. 12 were found not guilty, 20 were found guilty. 1 continuance was granted. We had 380 found guilty for not appearing, and fines were placed at $750. Total amount of fines for non-appearance was $29,175. If people got the $750 fine, the only option they have is to go to Market Room 119 and have the decision appealed. Current liens that have been paid, $106,476.04. We have outstanding liens to date equaling $177,788.31. And those get paid as people purchase the properties. C. James Auto is closed. A letter is being sent to IDOT from the attorney requesting the building be brought up to code or do a demolition on the building. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
And maybe we should have, this is just a recommendation because the clerk wants our reports on Thursday. Sometimes we're shorthanded, so sometimes it's really, I did my report at 3:30 today. We can't get to it. We got customers coming in, and actually I spoke to the HR director and asked her if it's really a requirement that we do that. And she said we should not have to be allowed or made to give her a report. If you guys are getting written reports, I thought the whole idea was for us to come in and give our reports to you, not you knowing what we're giving you in advance. So that may be something we should talk about at our department head meeting, just a suggestion.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We'll discuss it at the department.
Yeah, it's just for a suggestion. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Economic Development Director, Joseph Wisawai.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and board members. I had a meeting with Stephen Ostrander with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency on Planning to discuss our plans for the village's comprehensive plan. Mr. Ostrander was one of the panel of 3 who conducted the interview for the local technical assistance grant, and he advised that we scored very high on our application. We will be formulating an RFP, that is a request for a proposal, for a consultant for the plan. Mr. Ostrander will be the project manager for CMAP, and I will serve as the village's project manager, and the consultant will take the lead on the project once the RFP is approved. We are formulating the RFP now. We anticipate going out for the RFP in January of 2018, interviewing the bidders for the project in February and awarding the bidder in March of 2018. The village board will not be letting the bid nor awarding them. This is done by the board for CMAP with the recommendation of both project managers and the concurrence of the mayor. The village's land sale is moving ahead, with the owner completing its survey work, and request for jurisdictional determination is being made to the Army Corps of Engineers. The buyer will also be making application to Metropolitan Water Reclamation District and the Cook County Highway Department for permits. This process is expected to take several months. Work on the Plaza Place improvements in TIF number 4 are nearing completion. I met with Mr. Panos today, and we reviewed the work completed and the work that still remains. Once all the work has been completed, Mr. Panos will obtain lien waivers and will be submitting receipts, paid receipts, on the invoices requesting reimbursement pursuant to the development agreement approved by the village board. We held a tax increment financing district joint review board meeting on Thursday, October 26th for all 3 TIF districts, School District 168, the McConaughey Library District, and Bloom Township were in attendance, along with the village clerk, Mary Thompson from Kane McKenna, Mayor Burgess, Mr. Rao, and myself. We discussed the village's finances and projects within the TIF districts. Our next meeting will be in 2018. And finally, I will be meeting this week with a representative from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources to discuss our flood map and flood insurance program. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Reports of trustees and standing committees.
Question, Mayor.
Oh.
Sorry, I know Director Weller is not with us tonight, but we do have a report. Are you going to share that with the public?
I didn't. Yes, I will. Since you have it, would you like to read?
I can, sure.
Thank you.
So this is from Public Works Director Weller, just in way of an update from his organization. The first item is that work did begin yesterday at 223rd Street to upgrade the main valve, and I know that I did see at least an e-blast go out about a boil order, and one should be going out when it is okay to stop that. I don't know if that went out today or not. Okay, so you're saying, so the water is okay in that area again now. Next, final season cutting and cleanup will be happening in the next few weeks once the heavy leaf drop is over. If you're affected, you would have seen the groups out there doing that work. There's also been some additional repair to street lights with underground wire on Brookwood being completed, and ComEd is actually going to be hooking the power back up in the next few days if they haven't already done so. Repairs to a hydrant on Indy Lane have been completed, so that should be cleaned up. Potholes and patchwork are ongoing. Back to the leaves, sorry. They are running 1 week behind due to still having some issues with the later drop because of how the weather has been this fall. So residents will have until the 19th of November to rake all of the leaves to the curb. And then once the staff has gone through and picked that up, that will be the last time they're doing that. So if anything goes out after that point, you will receive a ticket. So please be cautious and cognizant of those dates. Trying to save the village some money, they have sent 2 plows to the welder to have them resurfaced. They're expecting that to extend the life of those plows by several years, so that's good for us from a financial perspective. They've also, he made comment here that they did do a final park work, replacing mulch and some timber. They also had to remove a fire-damaged slide from Carlisle Park, and all parks have had slides removed due to fire damage and vandalism, just as an FYI. And that looks like that is the bulk of his report.
Thank you, Trustee Zupan, for that report.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I have a question. I'd like to go back to the economic development person. Joe. Well, Joe, you know, I should ask the mayor though. There's a community person that's supposed to be appointed to the TIF committee.
Yes.
And have you done that?
No.
Resident? And
you have suggestions?
no, I just asked you. Was it done? You said you was gonna do it.
No, I haven't done it yet.
Okay. And also, at the meeting, I attended trustee, but I want to know why this should be, I guess to the mayor, mandatory that trustees attend this, because if we're supposed to be monitoring TIF funds, why aren't we there? I don't know if everybody got the notice.
TIF meetings are during the day. And then, I mean, you're more than welcome to come. It's always been during the day. I used to attend them during the day as a trustee. It was just a matter of, they're open to everyone. So, I mean, I can't make it mandatory if you have a job. So, I mean, but I said it at the time that we had the TIF meeting, it was open to all. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Reports of trustees, standing committees, Public Service Committee, Trustee Bernice Brewer.
No report at this time.
Okay. Mr. Grant's right here. Parks and Recs and Youth Services, Trustee Kelvin Jones.
Flyers should be on the back table for the Santa parade / party. The parade will start at 10 a.m. and will end and the magic will start at 3 p.m. inside the community center. We also on December 9th, 2017, and a new basketball program should be starting up in the evening time, and more programs to follow along with that.
Excuse me just a second. Could you all do that outside, please? Chief,
Chief.
Chief, could y'all do that outside? We have a meeting in here. Thank you. Go ahead, trustee.
Thank you. And basketball program should start up this Monday in the community center, the gym, starting at 3 p.m. And we're looking to expand on that with some other ideas. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for a flyer coming out shortly about the new program in the evening time in the community center. As of now, it'll be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that's it. Concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee. Ordinance Review Committee, trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next meeting that we have for the Ordinance Review Committee is November 30th, 6:30 p.m. here at the Village Hall. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Safety, trustee Elizabeth Sufan.
We're going to get to Beth one of these days. So the Public Safety Committee did meet the 1st of November. We were a small group that night and chatted through our agenda items, but didn't get really to any conclusions because of some of the members that were not able to attend that night. So they become old business for our meeting the first Wednesday of December. I would encourage anyone in the audience who is interested in joining us to please do so. First Wednesday of every month, 6 p.m. right here in this room. Everyone is welcome. You can always come in, just sit in for one meeting, see what you think of it, and then, if you like it, come back, and if not, okay, I understand. But, volunteers are critical to everything we do here, and it would be nice to have residents in addition to the department heads that participate. So the police chief attends, EMA director attends, the fire chief will be attending as well. So, and Public Works I pull in as needed depending on the topic. So volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. I need you all. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Beautification Committee, trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Beautification is going to, we decorate the Village Hall. And normally we do it the Saturday after Thanksgiving. But I'm going to change it, and I want to do it December 2nd, which is a Saturday, at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we are looking for volunteers to help us decorate. That concludes my report.
I'm sorry, what time is that?
Yeah,
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. here?
December 2nd here.
Okay. Do we need to bring anything?
No, yourself would really, lots of arms, we need lots of arms. I'm checking into, I want to order a new tree. Beautification, I do have funds, so I think it's time for a new tree.
Thank you.
That gives it time to get here.
I don't think that. Okay, Senior Advisory Committee Chairman, Mr. Emmett Farmer. Is the microphone up there? Make sure it's on.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and trustees. The Senior Advisory Council, we actually met last Thursday, and we reviewed the various groups that were using the Senior Center, Midwest, Bluegrass, Ceramics, and Leisure Timers, and kind of made some adjustments to each group on when and they're going to be using the Senior Center. Also, we're not quite finished with the calendar. We'll have that finished on our next meeting, which is the second Thursday of next month. And also we have some new groups that do want to come in and actually use the Senior Center. And one of them, Dr. Stansberry, who has a lot of things going on, including like CETA and some more things that would be actually good for the seniors and the public, where they can come there and receive some benefits. So they're going to come in and just present what they're doing and why they need to use the Senior Center. We do have some new people coming in. Also, right now, we got going on, still have the Medicare meetings going on November, every Tuesday, and then I think the last one is like December 5th for the Medicare meetings. We're trying to finish that before the end of the open season, which is December 7th. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, I do have a question about CEDAR program. That was Mr. Stanberry that was here last week.
Yes.
And he was looking for a place. So you're saying that you're going to let him use the senior center for his CEDAR whenever he has his program, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
New business. Alex,
Can I comment on that?
you have a question for him?
No, I have a comment on that senior center.
Go ahead.
Okay. We talked to Dr. Stanberry, and because we have the Wi-Fi and the space over there, we thought it'd be, and thanks to Trustee Tate, we thought it would be a great place for him to come in and entertain the community with the different programs. I just want to emphasize that we have the Wi-Fi and the space. That's the only reason he's willing to come in and talk, and he'll be at the Senior Advisory Council meeting on the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. 14th December. And I think it will be a really good programs to bring here to the village. So we hoping you guys will be on board, and he'll come back after he takes a look at what we have offers over at the Senior Center, and really get behind him and the different programs that he has available to use. And as far as the Senior Center being, let's say, in disarray, I was there Sunday and I didn't see it for a little while. So next time, when something like that happens and you guys know about it, just give me a call and I can run down there, because I didn't see it, you know. And you can take pictures, send it to my phone, but we try to keep the center as clean as possible, because the next person is right behind you and using it. So I apologize to whoever else had to come in and clean up behind us, but if we had known, we would definitely would have had somebody in there to clean it up. So I didn't see it. So that's the only thing I want to say.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve accounts payable and disbursements dated 11/14/2017 in the amount of $789,964.29 per Sauk Village policy.
So moved. Second.
It was moved by Trustee Beth Zupan and second by Trustee Linda Todd. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
I got a question.
Oh.
Mr. Mayor, since I've been here, I haven't asked for copies of the Owens contract to find out just who's supposed to be paying Dr. Straughter for her services here. Now, as I understand it, she's here on the accounts payable as a Sauk Village employee. But I am under the impression that since I don't have a contract, that she should be paid through the Owens Group. But I can't get a copy of the contract. I gave Mohan another request, and I just want to know, is she a village employee, or is she being paid by Owens Group? And if she's being paid by Owens Group, why is she always showing up on accounts payable?
Okay, under the heading that she's being paid out, she's working as HR, and she's also working for negotiations, which I did let the trustees know. And if you notice, it's under professional services. So she's not an employee. So she's a consultant, and she's here only 2 to 3 days a week. And she's being paid out of professional services item. She's not an employee. And there is no contract. I didn't sign a contract, which means I'm not obligated.
Okay, Okay, my second question then is throughout the accounts payable, on my copy, somebody has went in and changed the numbers, and they never put initials by it. You never give anybody, you know, somebody has to put initials. They put things out here, they changing the totals without initialing. I don't know if this is right, or nobody up here should know if this thing is right. They changed
You're talking about page 1, correct?
page 1,
Okay.
page 3. They changed the figures on us. So, I mean, page 7. And we don't know if that's right, and nobody initial it, so how are we to approve something? And I could have put that in there.
So actually, I sat down, I had several questions, and that was one of my questions that I actually spent some time with Mohan and asked, because I know it's him who puts this together, so any changes is him. And I asked, I said, hey, I see a pencil through an amount. I see that the totals are still footing to the summary on the front page, but I see you've changed things. What have you done? He walked me through it. So I thought we were all supposed to get our questions answered with him prior to the meeting, so that we weren't, you know, having to worry about him not being here at the point we were approving AP.
Zupon, I said the figures were changed, the initials are not there. If he changed them, he should have put his initials there. Simple as that. I don't care if I talk to him before or after. If you're gonna change something, put your initials by it. Simple as that. That's a document. Second of all, as far as we were talking about going to see Mohan, Mohan is always busy when I want to come in there and ask him a question. He can't answer my questions, and last time I put in a written request, he told me to see the mayor. So, everybody, you might be privy to Mohan, but I'm not. So,
That's not true. That's not true.
Mr. Mayor, unless you're good with me all the time, you shouldn't say that, because I'm right there with it. Last Mohan, I can go in there and stay 5 minutes, he's over, he said, I don't have time for that. I can sit down and ask him a question and not have time for that.
Are you available tomorrow?
Okay. No, I got things to do just like Mohan
I
does.
just asked a question.
You know, and my third thing I want to ask about is that Mohan is not available to me. That's my point I'm trying to make. I have to FOIA everything. Once I put it in verbal, I put it in writing, and
What's the
then
third
I
thing
eventually
then?
have to put a FOIA request in. That's how I get some answers. The third thing is I want to ask about the IML conference. Now, it's my understanding, and on the back of the front page, down the bottom, it said room charges for the Hilton Hotel. It has Jones and Pruitt, but it has it under your name. So did you pay for it, or is this for Jones and Pruitt? You see what I mean? They put room charges Jones, room charges Pruitt, but they have it under Burgess as being not paid out of credit card. So you use the credit card?
No, what happened, and I'll try to explain it to you. The rooms were just held under the village credit card at the time. They weren't paid for. So when we got there, the rooms were not paid for. So we had to put them, at that time, we didn't have a check, and they won't take a check that day. So we had to put it on our credit card. I have a village credit card. So I put some rooms under my credit card, Mohan put some rooms under his credit card, so the trustees wouldn't have to pay for them out of their money, and they're not supposed to. So that's what that was, as a village credit card.
Versus me, Bernice, if you're actually looking, you'll see further on, there's a reimbursement due to me, because I did pay for my hotel room out of my own pocket, and had to turn in a reimbursement request to get that back.
Well, I have to reimburse some too, and that's not the question I'm asking. I'm asking about this spreadsheet that's on the front. I asked Mohan about that. He didn't have time to explain it to me. If you look at this, and any resident looks at this, they'll say, well, why is Jones and Pruitt being charged twice?
Okay.
It looks like
okay, I don't know where you see Jones being charged twice.
I mean Pruitt, I'm sorry, Pruitt,
Okay.
and Todd is on here twice.
What happened was, again, the credit card was paid, but the rooms were made at the beginning for 2 days, and then there was another, the third day wasn't added on the original reservations, but it was added before that time. So they made out 2 invoices, where we had to pay 2 invoices they didn't combine it into one, so the hotel issued 2 invoices under those particular names. Because they didn't pick it up. That was the hotel that didn't pick up the 3 days all at once. They did 2 days, and then it was told that it was supposed to be 3 days, which they should have known, but they didn't know. But then when we informed them, it was after the first 2 days, so they added a separate invoice. And all of that was paid. My credit card only holds so much, so therefore that's what happened.
I understand, and that's what I suspected, but how would trustees know if somebody didn't explain to
I'm
us?
in my office every day from 9 to 5.
When did we get these things?
Any questions? Any other questions? We got a motion on the floor?
I just have one.
Yes.
With the professional services for Dr. Stroder, is this are these that we're paying her above what we paid? Because that position is in our budget, so is this above it?
The negotiations and everything, she will be involved in the negotiations of contracts because her rate is a whole lot cheaper than the lawyers, more than half. So I'm going to be using more of that rather than the lawyers. And if you notice, you don't see the lawyers, but we've started getting ready and doing negotiations. It's going to be a tough negotiation. I'm just going to leave it like that. It's going to be a tough negotiation.
Okay,
and
so this is above what's budgeted for
no.
HR.
One thing is, her budgeted was her HR services.
Okay.
This other part that you see that's other professional services is for getting the contracts and everything together and going through that type of thing.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I have one more question. I forgot to answer. On page 7, there's a payment here to Kane McKinney for $1,725. I guess you gave us the invoice last week that said $1,200 was because they did some, I guess, analysis on the questions that I sent, so she could answer it when she came to the meeting. But I want to ask you, I reviewed the contract, and according to the contract, I got that before your request too. There's no place in that contract that said that we're going to be charged if a trustee who's supposed to be monitoring the TIF funds be charged a fee. So I want to know, and I never spoke to Ms. Thompson. I sent her questions. I want to know why are trustees going to be charged for her to ask questions on our money, on Sauk Village money. Trustees are supposed to find out what's going on with a particular fund, but yet you're saying that we're going to be charged every time we call them. Something's not right about that, and it's not in the contract that we're going to be charged anytime a trustee is going to call and find out about Sauk Village funds. I don't understand that.
Anytime you call a vendor, be it a engineer, be it a financial person, be it your lawyer, they're charging you by every time. They just because they're our lawyers doesn't mean that if you ask them a question and they have to do research, they're not going to charge you. That's not free. There's no such thing as they're not going to charge us. They're going to charge us for every single thing that they do. Now, how much they're going to charge depending on how much research they have to do. But there's no such thing that just because they're our engineers that they're not going to charge us for a question that you have. I don't know where that comes from, but that's life. You ask the question, you're going to get charged. Well, so there's no such thing as a grace period. And your answer to your original question, I was trying to get to that, that was an economic development. And that was part of the TIF meeting that they have, the 10 ones that we're supposed to have every year. This is the first one we had in several years. So they had to prepare for that too.
Oh, okay, Mr. Mayor. Kane McKinney handles Sauk Village TIF funds. These are Sauk Village TIF funds. A trustee is supposed to be over those TIF funds. We are all basically new. So if we want to ask a question about TIF funds, we're going to be charged when it's not in the contract.
Okay.
So wait a minute, so
you're
I would like
confusing
to,
things.
no,
You're
wait a minute,
confusing.
I'm not finished, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
So in future, for future references, when we get another contract for Kane McKinnon, they should state that anytime anybody call that's representing Sauk Village, and they want to ask about your money, that we're gonna charge them. That should be in their contract.
Okay.
There's
First
no
of
way in the
all,
world we should be charged all this money if her questions I asked her to address when she came to the meeting. We already knew, we don't know anything about TIFs. At least I don't, I know a little now, but I'm just saying, why are we being charged for a financial institute to ask questions about your money? It doesn't make any sense. I'm finished with that one.
first of all, this is business. There is no grace period for any answer. There's no, we're gonna help you out this one time, even though you asking us. If they have to do research, they have to take time, they charge for that. Second of all, as far as the trustee over the money, it's not, you're confusing the trustee really over the money, over the TIF, happens to be the mayor and the board. It doesn't give me the right or you the right to go and ask them anything without them paying. Yes, you can ask, and yes, they will answer, but they will charge you. I don't know, maybe you may feel that, you hear it on television, consultations are free. That's nice. When it comes to a village, no, it's not. If they have to consult, they have to ask, they have to do research on your question. There's nothing that's included in the amount that you pay them that states that they will answer X amount of questions free, and then the rest of them we're going to pay for. Every single thing you ask them to do, this is a village. This is a business. Everything you ask them to do, they're going to charge for it. And I don't know what contract you're thinking about that somebody will say, we'll give you 5 consultations free. I've never heard of that. So that's why they charge. That's why I say, when you have questions, let's see if we can find out the answers before we go there, because once we go there, they're going to charge. And I've said that about the lawyers and about any other thing on the outside of this doors of this village. If you ask for any advice, it's going to be charged.
Again, I want to state, when next time we have an enter to a contract with them, they should tell us that they're going to charge us.
They have told you. They have told you. They told you how much they charge an hour. Yes, they do. You got a contract, and you saw how much they charge an hour.
And then point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Point of order what?
Because I'm talking and you keep cutting me off.
We're not going to do this. This is not going to happen.
But anyway, Mr. Mayor, I'm saying from my perspective is whenever they have a contract that we need to specify what they're going to charge us if we're going to answer the question. And if the TIF, they come in here every year to give us a demonstration that trustees, I didn't say trustees are supposed to be assigned, but trustees are supposed to know what's going on with the funds. And how would we know that unless we ask questions? I had asked verbally, put it in writing, and then I had to submit a FOIA request. And the only way I got a FOIA request in, I sent it to Mary and she answered. So apparently people here at the village don't know the answer to my questions. So where do you go from there? If you can't get the answers here, where do you go?
Is this part of your rebuttal for, we have a motion
No,
on the floor.
I'm just
We
trying
have
to
a
put my
motion
comment
on
about
the
this.
floor
Okay.
for accounts payable. If this is not, you do have time at the end for comments for trustees and
I'm
mayor.
commenting on this particular accounts payable.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions on accounts payable? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Jones.
Yes.
Tate. Todd.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Brewer.
No.
Grant.
Motion is carried. I need a motion to approve the global settlement in the Moore versus Sauk Village matter, case 16 CV 2861 and 15 CH 16507 in the amount of $70,000. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Jones. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Pace. Todd.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Grant. Jones.
Yes.
Taylor.
Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the intergovernmental agreement with Cook County for the rehabilitation project known for, commonly known on 223rd Street in Cornell.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Todd, second by trustee Brewer. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Todd.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Grant. Jones.
Yes.
Taylor.
Motion is carried. Comments from the mayor and trustees. We'll start with trustee Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I would like to say is I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, safe holidays, and there's no meeting next Tuesday. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Brewer.
My comment is for the treasurer. I wasn't quite sure of if we were violating the Open Meetings Act when we were going to vote on the treasurer. That's why I want to put it on hold. But I think she'll be a good fit for us. But I'm not quite sure, and I was hoping maybe Marvin, you could lend some more light or give us something in writing that would address that issue, if that's possible, or tell me where I can go. I'll get it myself to address that particular issue for that. Rick, yes. You sent me something already?
A copy, another things for you all to Open Meetings Act, but I'll go back and I'll highlight it, and I'll put that, just that highlighted page.
Okay, just to be on the safe side, you know, I think it would, but everybody, wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and that's the end of my comment.
Thank you. Trustee Jones.
Volunteers, volunteers, volunteers. We always look for volunteers for Parks and Recreation. This up and coming event for the Santa Parade Party. Any volunteers, let me know. I'm also gonna put out a flyer for children that wanna ride on the sleigh with Santa. Volunteers, volunteers. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one, and that's it.
Thank you, Trustee Jones.
Bueller. No. Sorry, I couldn't resist. No, nothing other than to wish everybody a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. I hope everybody can spend time with their families. That's what it's about.
Thank you. I have a few things. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone that did come out to the Veterans Celebration. It was really awesome. We were able, first time since I've been doing it, that we were able to get our Congresswoman, Robin Kelly, she came out. And also we got Representative L.G. Sims to come out and give a speech. So it was very enlightening, and we were able to feed as many that actually came out. We had food left over, and it was very well put together over there in the senior center, decorated, and the food was just kept coming out as long as everyone kept wanting to eat. So I just want to thank those that were involved in putting this together. Mary Mary Klopp, and then the staff that was put on the kitchen by our own Marva Campbell Pruitt. Your kitchen personnel was awesome. They were able to keep serving and serving and serving. I was not aware. I left before it was to clean up. That wasn't on purpose. I had something to go someplace. So, I did not and was not aware until just now that it was not cleaned up. So when I came in Monday, which I always do, is I looked to see, and it didn't see, but I didn't hear anything. I wish someone could have told me Monday rather than now. But from now on, we will look to look at that. And
the floors were dirty before we even got started.
Okay.
In fact, I pointed it out to someone. Those floors were
okay, but we're not.
before the event.
I'm just saying, we're not gonna point or do anything. I'm just making a comment that I'll just, from now on, I'll look, but I'm not going back to say who was right, who was wrong. I have. That's it. Okay. Anyway, I need to ask the clerk to put on the e-blast. I'm trying to secure, and I've talked to some people, securing 25 turkeys. I'm hoping to get these turkeys by next Tuesday. And I need, if I get a confirmation, it's a last minute thing that was given to me. So if I get a confirmation, it will be put out on the e-blast. Hopefully today is Tuesday, hopefully it'll be put out there by Thursday, first come, first serve. It'll be disseminated here in the village. So look to e-blast and to see, I don't know how, we can put some flyers out, but I don't know how quick we can get them out there because it will be first come, first serve. So, and then hopefully at Christmas time we can get some more. So look on e-blast. If you don't have e-blast, after this meeting is over with, come talk to the village clerk to find out how you can put e-blast on your computer. That being said, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So
Moved by Trustee Todd, and second by Trustee Brewer. All in favor?
aye.
Thank you very much. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving.